After an amazing week away in Glen Esk, it's finally time to head for home. Sonny and Beau are stretched out in the car behind after walking for miles every day, and I reckon they'll be more than ready for a well-earned rest by the time we get home. We've got a beautiful drive ahead of us today, following some lovely roads through Angus. And after we pass through Tarside, I'll show you a wee place I somehow managed to miss filming on the way in, despite driving right through it. Welcome back to Lochs and Highways and our second Engine Talks video. This time, if you hadn't guessed already, we're behind the wheel of the Chrysler 300 V6 turbo diesel. If you enjoy scenic drives, a bit of engine soundtrack, and some of Scotland's quieter roads, you're in the right place. So sit back, relax, and let's get underway. And if you hear the odd rattle from behind, don't worry, the Chrysler's not protesting. It's just the bags shifting about after a week away. You know, it's been a really good week away. This was actually a family holiday, so it wasn't all about filming and exploring every minute of the day. But I still wanted to get out and discover a few places while we were here, and having Sonny and Beau with us was the perfect excuse to get the walking boots on. They've absolutely loved it too. They've had miles and miles of walks every day, exploring new paths and probably sniffing every blade of grass they could find. So I think they'll be more than happy to get home and have a well-earned rest. One thing I've really enjoyed about this trip is discovering places like Glen Esk. It's not somewhere that gets the same attention as some of Scotland's more famous locations, but that's part of the charm. Quiet roads, hidden walks, and little bits of history that you might easily miss. Of course, there are plenty of those more well-known places still to come later this year as well. I've got some adventures planned back on the west coast, including some classic Scottish roads and landscapes that have been on my list for a while. But I think that's one of the best things about exploring Scotland. The famous places are famous for a reason, but sometimes the quieter corners are where you find the biggest surprises. You don't realise how rough the previous stretch was until you hit a bit of fresh tarmac like this. Everything just settles down, and it's a much quieter place to be. I hope it'll come across on YouTube, but the difference in road noise is night and day, even with premium tyres on. know exactly what some folk will be thinking. Go on, give it some. Not just yet. The engine's still warming up, and it'll thank me for being patient. Besides, I've a boot full of cases and bags in the back seat. I don't fancy having a huge mess to clean up when I get home. And that's saying something, because I actually enjoy cleaning cars. Maybe next time we'll let the Chrysler stretch its legs a bit more. Now, remember earlier when I mentioned I'd forgotten to film something? Well, this is it just ahead. Somehow I managed to drive right through Edzell without switching the camera on. Not my finest moment, but I never did say I was a professional. Just a wee numpty with a phone and a dash cam trying to remember all the buttons. Anyway, let's have a quick look around Edzell, shall we? Entering or leaving the village, you pass underneath the Dalhousie Arch, one of Edzell's most recognisable landmarks. Built in the late 1880s, it was created as a memorial to the 13th Earl of Dalhousie and his wife, who sadly both passed away on the same day. But Edzell has another interesting connection, one that links back to a walk we did earlier in this trip. In 1861, Queen Victoria and Prince Albert visited the area during their tour through Scotland. This was the same journey where they stopped at the remote spring, now known as the Queen's Well, a place we visited earlier in the week. If you haven't seen that walk yet, I'll leave a link in the description, and you can also find it in the card popping up in the top right corner. It's always fascinating how these little connections appear when you're exploring Scotland. You can be driving through a quiet wee village and suddenly find yourself following the footsteps of people from hundreds of years ago. This is the view of the arch from the other side, so you can get a better look at what it actually looks like, because someone forgot to film it in the main video. Not mentioning any names. Thanks very much for coming along and spending some time with me today. I hope you've enjoyed this Engine Talks video, and a wee look at the roads through Angus. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like, and let me know in the comments what you thought. I always enjoy reading them. Thanks to everyone who suggests places to visit. Some of the best ideas come from the comments, and there are already a few roads on the list that I need to explore. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing and joining me for more scenic drives, walks, and hidden gems around Scotland. For now though, thanks again for watching. Drive safe, and I'll see you out there on the roads. Or the trails.
On Lochs and highways, hearts run free, where the land meets sky and the soul can be. Through every road, through every sea, this is home, it's you and me. On Lochs and highways, hearts run free, where the land meets sky and the soul can be. Through every road, through every sea, this is home, it's you and me.